Alright, so here's something I've been thinking about for a while. We were all told that the safe path was go to uni, get a degree, get a job. Simple. But let's be honest, we all know that that conventional path isn't as safe as it once was anymore. As many of you have probably already personally experienced, you can spend years at a university or college, rack up debt, and still come out the other side with no real direction, no job, and no other leverages in your life. At the same time, I've been noticing something else. People who are building their own thing online, whether it be YouTube, a business, etc., they're not just taking a risk, they're building freedom and they're buying freedom. I say this as someone who's done it the right way. I grew up believing that the old adage my parents taught me, which was to do academically well in school, get a degree, keep your head down, don't rock the boat, prioritize comfort and survival, get a stable job, preferably a STEM one. While that path used to lead to some great outcomes for the previous generations before us, and while my parents' advice was well-intentioned, it no longer works in a system, in a world where being on autopilot leaves you open and vulnerable to the systemic exploitation. We live in a transitional age now where merely just being academic and having credentials is becoming less and less valued. People now have learned to survive in an attention economy, as you're likely aware of already, where visibility brings much more leverage in your life than just having the right academic credentials. And even that landscape is already hanging on by a thread, as people have now gotten tired of the endless slop, misinformation, and shallow content that's being pumped out on the internet on a second-by-second basis. We will eventually live in a landscape where authenticity is the currency. I realized my old path wasn't giving me the life that I actually wanted. It gave me structure, a bit of direction, but not clarity, not momentum, and definitely not excitement or hope about the future. That came later, when I started stepping off the path and began building something of my own. Not some grand business empire or whatever, but just getting honest, thinking clearly, and moving intentionally. That's what actually made things feel solid. This is going to be the first video on this channel. There's going to be a lot more, where we explore this journey together, where I go back and break down the turning points, the things I've learned to share with you guys, and the parts that nearly broke me, and the parts that began to rebuild me. I don't have everything figured out, but I've figured out a lot. And if anything I say here helps someone else move forward, then it's worth doing. All right, see you guys in the next one. I can't wait.